Rigolet, northern Labrador. Peaceful, serene, remote. But the way of life here is changing, and fast.
We're the most southerly Inuit community in Canada, and we still live an Inuit lifestyle. But it's becoming more and more challenging with the way that the weather patterns are developing and forming.
Sad thinking about it. It's going to get worse. It's like every winter is getting different.
We don't have any language to talk about environmental loss and the lived experience of anxiety and loss and grief and sadness and fear and injury that's coming from changes need to be addressed.
Derek Pottle has seen the changes firsthand. Almost everything he consumes, he hunts from the land.
To be out on the land, it's our identity as Inuit people. It's our connection, is who we are, is where we come from. It brings us back to where our forefathers and the people before us came.
But this unique way of life is being threatened. For these hunters and trappers, this barren landscape of ice is not only their highway, but their lifeline to their hunting grounds.
There's a whole bunch of seals right here. Yeah. You can see those little black dots on the ice. That's all seals. But this area here is very bad ice. We would actually fall through the ice if we went over there. You can tell by the sound, the thump, the solid ice is still down there.
And the ice is just not what it used to be. It now forms a month later and melts a month earlier.
A month is a lot. Like, you're losing 2 months off of each season that you're prevented from either going trapping. The three of us here are commercial trappers, and we can't get to our trap lines. All three of our trap lines are over on the other side of the bay. So we can't get to our trap lines until the middle of January because the ice is not formed.
The uncertainty gnaws at them. The anxiety is as constant as the melting ice.
It's hard to describe, really.
Like many here, Carl Michelin finds it hard to talk about the changes.
Does it make you sad? Does it make you nervous?
It's different. Trying to adjust to it. Sad thinking about it. It's going to get worse. It's like every winter is getting different.
This one here is a traditional harpoon, a nauluk. We call this one a nauluk. This is homemade, and we just put it on in this manner here. Put it down over the shaft and put a hitch. When we were growing up and we were young boys, we would be up here on Lake Melville in June, seal hunting. I'm lucky if I get up here the end of April now, so it definitely impacts people. It shortens your season. Just waiting for the seal to come back, and you're just patiently waiting. And when it disables you from participating in a traditional way of life. And everybody is different, but it impacts people in different ways.
Are you going to start there, Mark?
Ways that Ashley Consolo has been studying for almost 10 years. Coming here, she knew the average temperature in Canada's north is rising twice as fast as in the rest of the world, but she never expected to unearth such strong emotions when she asked one simple question.
How are the changes in weather or ice making you feel? And then people would talk about a whole host of strong emotional reactions. So, fear, anxiety, sadness, anger, frustration, a lot of helplessness, and a lot of sense of hopelessness about how do they stop the changes. I don't think
the more she talked to people, the more she realized that climate change was affecting the very mental health of the community.
And so a lot of people would say, the land is everything. It's family, it's kin, it's solace, it's a way I feel well, it's a way I feel healthy. So when we think about mental health separate from the land, you can't really have that in Inuit culture in the same way. It's foundational to everything.
Carl, how does it make you feel to see the changes so obviously?
From way back then, when it used to be a lot of ice, like Derek said, then now when you're seeing dramatic changes in a short period of time, a matter of 25 years, like you said, it's different. Adjusting to it, it's hard to describe, really.
How does it make me feel? It pisses me off, basically. I mean, if I said to somebody that lived in southern Canada, you have to live a certain lifestyle, or you have to go here, or you have to adapt this way and that way, it certainly changes my life, our lives, all of us.
When you live in urban settings, subtle changes in the environment don't impact in the same way. I mean, you might look outside and go, oh, it's raining, and you grab your umbrella and away you go. But when you're in environments like this and up north, those subtle changes can mean the difference between going out and hunting or not, or feeding your family or not, or being able to travel to the places that you need to go to feel well, or following in the footsteps of thousands of years of Inuit culture. So that small change can mean the world, and that has a huge impact on our mental wellness and psychological responses.
Ina Shaiwa grew up in this community. Her family still lives and hunts here. She's watched her neighbors as they grapple with the effects of climate change. The boredom, the disconnection, the isolation that sometimes leads to substance abuse. Ina's decided she had to do something.
So one thing for me is being able to sew. So like I like to sit down and just being in my house, and I know my mom is in the kitchen sewing. So like we have that connection with each other. But being able to do it, and then my nephew, if he wants to come over and have a look, if he wants to try, he can try. Same with my niece. So it's just finding different ways at the moment to try to deal with it.
You go over them, and under them, this one, and then you go over that one.
So on this night at the community center in Rigolet, John Faulkner is teaching the intricate skill of making snowshoes.
Yeah, that's right. No problem.
Right there?
Yes, that there when you get put the pin there now.
I'm going this way, right?
Yeah, go through.
Down the hall, Inez and her aunt are sharing another tradition, teaching how to sew these vibrant traditional coats they call dickies.
Finished, we're going to put your hood together. We got to put the two pieces together.
It helps people to relieve stress. Like there's no need to go and say, okay, maybe I should go have a drink. But really you don't need to. You can just go out and have fun with other people, and you don't need to have alcohol or drugs to make it fun. But this is something that people are able to say, I want to get out. This is something I'm going to consciously do with people, other people in my community. Hit the Inuit app.
In fact, Rigolet is part of the development of a new app called Inuit, designed to help people who are out on the land share what they see. The hope is that by sharing and connecting with each other, they can lessen the stress.
So you take it, you drag it to a spot, and you enter your title of where you were to, a description of the environment, so anything that's happening. So if you see something where the water is not right, or if the ice is soft and you shouldn't travel on it, or if you see a good spot of berries and you want to show it with everybody else, that's where you would put it. And then how does it make you feel? Sad, happy, you're not quite sure, angry? You would add it. It should be fun. It should be something that people can have fun with anyway. So
Ashley sees the resilience of the people of Rigolet as an example for communities everywhere that are facing the devastating effects of climate change.
We can't do anything about what's lost, and we can't do anything about what's disappearing now, but we can certainly fight to do things to stop it from continuing and to make sure that Inuit have what they need to be healthy.
The people in this community have endured a lot over the years, but this may be their biggest challenge yet. As climate change erodes their land, they're turning to their culture to find ways of dealing with the collective anxiety and uncertainty that is now part of their lives. Sabrina Fabian, CBC News, Rigolet, Newfoundland and Labrador.